Hello, everyone, and welcome to another segment of Motivational Mondays with Donna. I hope everyone has had a great week and any challenges that have come up to you that you've actually been able to weather them and come out on top. And just remember that no matter what, God's got this. God's got you in the palm of his hands. And he's not going to let anything come onto you that's going to be too much for you to be able to handle, because he will always provide a way out. So it's important that you remember that and just keep moving forward. Now, I want to talk this week about something that has affected every single one of us, and that is patience. At one time or another, something has come and rubbed us the wrong way, and we've actually lost it. Yes, we're human beings. Yes, things are going to happen, but we really have to cultivate patience. We really have to work on striving for that, because eventually all things will work out, and patience is a fruit of the Spirit. And sometimes you're going to get some things that's really going to test you. They're really going to try you. I've been there, done that. I know what it's all about. But you have to work on having the patience and letting peace ensue, because that will bring you to a better answer and a better ending to whatever the circumstances may be. Now, I know for some of us that can be a challenge. I, for one, am a type A personality. So when I want something done, I want it done 3 days ago. I really have had to work on patience. My husband is awesome because he's actually been dealing with me for 37 years. With this patience thing, it has improved greatly. Trust me, it has. However, though, I think that he has probably started to sway the other side. So now I have to help bring him back into patience. And we have to meet in the middle. So many different things are going to come up in life that's going to try your patience. You know, if you're on the road and you're driving, it's traffic. You know, if you're in the supermarket, it's the long lines, or it's the automated machines, and there's not enough of them. They only have maybe 3 of them lit up, and there's like 20 people in line, and you're like number 17. Going to get something to eat, drive through at a fast food. And when you get there, you ordered what you wanted. When you get up to the window, oh, can you repeat your order? Oh, no, what you wanted, we don't have. That can set you off, especially if this is what you really were craving to eat. Going through the drive-through, ATM at the bank. You don't want to go inside, or it's after hours, and you just want to go to the ATM, make your deposit, get your withdrawal, and keep moving. And you get there, and the sign says that they're actually unloading the ATM. So it's not going to be available for a little while. That can get under your skin as well. There's so many things that will try your patience. And that's why it's so important that you really start to cultivate it. Because other than that, you will be constantly hanging from the ceiling because everybody's upsetting you. You know, coworkers, customers, your spouse, you know, they're not doing what you thought they would do. Your children, constantly leaving the house a mess, constantly not doing their homework, not listening. All these things will try your patience. But you've got to find a way to be able to just breathe and say, okay, let me look at this from a different perspective, or let me just step away from it for a little bit and then come back to it when you can have that patience. Helen Keller, I think, said it best when she said that we could never learn to be brave and patient if there were only joy in the world. Now, you guys know that for sure, because if you're happy, everything's going your way, you have smooth sailing, then you never need to be patient. Okay? There was an American writer and a philosopher, Albert Hubbard, who he was born around 1856 and he died at 1915. But even he knew how to say this in the right way. You know, how many a man has thrown up his hands at a time when a little more effort and a little more patience would have achieved success? And a lot of us do that all the time because, you know, it's not happening as fast that we want it to be able to happen. But good things take time. They really do. It's just like planting a seed. You know, if you have flowers, or, you know, you have a beautiful garden and there's a certain type of plants and flowers that you like, you don't just put the seed in the soil and then within a day or two, the plant just springs up and everything is beautiful. It would be wonderful if it worked that way, especially for some of us. Definitely me, because I am not a horticulturist. Any plants that come around me, they really need to consider the fact that they might not live that long. At one point in time, I actually killed a cactus. Okay. Now, you know how hard it is to kill a cactus, so you can imagine. So me, I don't do the plant thing. The best I'll do is when it's Christmas, I'll buy some poinsettias and I'll have that and just hope that they can be able to last long enough to get through the holiday. Okay. Everything takes time. Okay. I mean, even with a woman giving birth, it takes time. You know, you have to have patience. You know, when your feet are swollen, when the baby is kicking inside your stomach, you know, all these things, you have to have patience. Okay. And then Benjamin Franklin said, he that can have patience can have what he will. It cannot get any clearer than that. You know, if you'll just take the time and let things happen as they should and have that patience, it'll work. Now, it's just not us, okay? People back in the Bible had the non-patience as well too, okay? And we can take a look at the father of many nations, Abraham. God had promised Abraham and his wife Sarah that they would have a son. Now, Sarah was barren, and back in those times, a woman that was barren and couldn't conceive was really frowned upon. And of course, sons held more authority than having a daughter. But she wasn't able to. But they waited after what God said. And then Sarah decided she didn't want to wait any longer. So she spoke to Abraham and told him that she wanted him to get together with her maid, her concubine, Hagar, and conceive a child. Well, Hagar did, and the child's name was Ishmael. But God let Sarah and Abraham know, this is not the child that I promised you. This is not the son you were supposed to get. You jumped the gun. So now you're still going to be waiting. I can imagine how they felt when they heard that. Okay. But lo and behold, eventually, Sarah did conceive, and they did have their son, Isaac. So patience is very critical, and we need it every day. This is really something that you need to cry out and ask God for. The same way you need to ask him for wisdom, You need to cry and ask for patience, okay? Because so many people will test your patience. It's not that simple. But once you are able to achieve it and you cultivate it, it'll just be second nature to you. And when something comes up, you won't even be offended by it. It won't bother you in any way. You'll just keep going. And next, okay, when it's time, that's when it'll work out, you know. And that's the way you have to look at things. Now, we've been ending our sessions talking about gratitude and the Olympic gold medalist in cycling, Kristen Armstrong. And she actually won the gold medal in 2008, 2012, and 2016. And she had stated that when we focus on our gratitude, the tide of disappointment goes out and the tide of love rushes in. That's just beautiful. It's just like so poetic. And it's so true because the most important commandment that God commanded us is that we love one another. And so if the love rushes in, that's just beautiful. So you want to be able to have that gratitude for everything. Work on your patience and keep your gratitude. Have a great week, guys. I'll talk to you next week.